Hello there. Today, I want to discuss with you the secret to build lasting habits. Are you ready for that?
Absolutely. I'm ready to dive into that with you. What aspect of building lasting habits would you like to explore first? Maybe the science behind it, practical strategies, or common obstacles people face?
Okay, let's start with the basic thing. What is a habit and why our habits are so powerful in shaping our lives?
Great place to start. So, a habit is basically a behavior we repeat regularly, often automatically, without a lot of conscious thought. And they're so powerful because they shape a huge portion of our daily life. Everything from what we eat to how we spend our time to how we react to stress. So, once a habit is built, it kind of runs in the background, making our behaviors more efficient and often leading to big changes over time.
Okay, why do people often struggle to build good habits or break bad ones?
Yeah, that's a big one. I think a lot of it comes down to how our brains are wired. We tend to seek out immediate rewards, so bad habits often give us a quick payoff, like comfort or distraction, while good habits require more effort and delayed gratification. Plus, we often set too ambitious goals at first or don't have the right triggers in place. So it all falls apart when the initial motivation fades.
Okay, what is the difference between motivation and discipline when forming the habits?
Ah, great question. So, motivation is that initial spark. It's that feeling of excitement or drive that pushes you to start something new. But discipline is what keeps you going when that motivation fades. It's like a steady habit, a daily commitment. So, in a way, you rely on discipline to turn that initial motivation into a long term habit.
Okay, can you explain the habit loop in a simple term?
Of course, think of a habit loop like a little circle. It has three parts: a cue or a trigger that reminds you to do something, a routine, which is the actual behavior, and a reward, something that feels good or satisfying at the end. Over time, that loop gets stronger and the behavior just kind of runs on its own, almost like a mental shortcut.
Okay, and what are the some common mistakes people make when trying to build new habits? Can you explain that one?
Yeah, definitely. One big mistake is setting goals that are too big or too vague, like saying, I'll exercise more, instead of, I'll go for a 20-minute walk every morning. Another common mistake is relying only on willpower because it fades. Also, people often forget to tie habits to a specific cue, or they give up too soon if they don't see immediate results. So, small, consistent steps and a clear plan make a big difference.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, and how long does it usually take to develop a lasting habit?
Ah, yeah. So the classic number you often hear is about 21 days, but research actually suggests it can take much longer, sometimes 2 to 3 months, depending on the habit. The key is consistency, keeping at it even when you don't see instant results. So it's more about the repetition and patience than hitting some exact number of days.
So, what do you think that 21-day rule is true?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a simplification. The 21-day rule can be a nice starting point because it gives you a short, clear goal, but real lasting habits usually need more time, often a couple months. So I'd say use 21 days as a milestone, but be patient and keep going as long as it takes.
Okay, and what are the best strategies for making a new habit stick?
Yeah, there are a few really powerful ones. First, start small, make the habit so easy you can't say no, then tie it to a trigger. So, for example, right after brushing your teeth, you do your habit. Keep your rewards small but immediate so you feel that payoff, and track your progress. Seeing your streak or checking off days keeps you motivated. And of course, be kind to yourself. If you slip, just get back on track without judgment.
Okay, and what role does our environment play in forming good or bad habits?
Oh, it plays a huge role. If your environment supports your habit, it makes it so much easier. For example, if you want to eat healthier, keep healthy snacks in sight. Or if you want to read every night, put a book on your pillow. But if your environment is full of distractions, like your phone or clutter, it can really derail you. So, shaping your environment to support your habit is a game changer.
Okay, and then how can someone stay consistent when they lose motivation?
That's a great question. So, when motivation fades, you rely more on those systems and habits you've set up. So, keep the habit really small so you can do it even on low energy days and anchor it to a cue that's already part of your routine. Also, remind yourself why you started. Just a quick mental check in about your bigger purpose keeps you on track even when you don't feel like it.
Okay, and what should a person do if they miss a day or break their habit streak?
That's really common, and it's important to not be too hard on yourself. If you miss a day, just acknowledge it and then jump back in the next day. One slip doesn't erase all your progress. You can even reframe it as a chance to practice resilience. Just a small reset and keep going.
Okay, and can technology and habit tracking apps improve consistency? If yes, then how?
Oh, absolutely. Habit tracking apps are super helpful. They give you a visual record so you can see your progress, which keeps you motivated. They often have reminders so you get a little nudge to stay on track, and some even let you set streak goals. Plus, just knowing you'll log your habit at the end of the day adds a layer of accountability.
Okay, and what are some example of small habits that can improve productivity, health, or personal growth?
Yeah, for sure. So for productivity, something like a 5-minute morning planning session can make a big difference. For health, even just drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning. And for personal growth, maybe reading just 10 pages a day of a book or journaling a couple lines each night. Small, consistent habits like that add up really quickly.
Okay, and can you give me a real life example of someone who transformed their life through habits?
Yeah, definitely. A classic example is someone like James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits. He was once a student struggling with injuries, and he built a daily routine of small habits, like writing just a few minutes each day, exercising consistently, and focusing on tiny improvements. Over time, those small actions completely changed his career and life, and now he's helped millions by sharing that framework.
Okay, and like you said earlier that you can improve by reading the books. Which books on habits would you recommend and why?
Oh, great idea. I definitely recommend Atomic Habits by James Clear since it's super practical. Another fantastic one is The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. It dives into the science behind how habits form. And if you like a spiritual angle, The Slight Edge by Jeff Golson is also really powerful. It's all about small daily disciplines leading to big success.
Okay, that's great. And how does successful people maintain their habits for years? It's too difficult now.
No problem. Yeah, what really helps successful people is that they build habits into their identity. They see themselves as the kindest person who does those things. They also revisit their why regularly so they stay connected to their purpose. And they keep adjusting and refining so the habit stays fresh and relevant even as life changes.
Okay, and how can I replace a bad habit with a good one?
Ah, great question. So the key is to keep the structure the same, but swap out the behavior. First, identify the cue and the reward of your bad habit. Then create a new positive routine that delivers a similar reward. Also, make the good habit super easy to start and be really mindful in the moment. Catch yourself before you do the old habit and choose the new one. Over time, it rewires your brain.
Okay, and at the end, I would like to ask that if you were my personal habit coach, what are the three most important habits would you recommend and that I can start today, and how should I build them step by step?
Ah, I love that. So, first, I'd recommend a daily planning habit, just a few minutes each morning to set your top priorities. Second, a short daily movement habit, like a 10-minute walk or stretch. And third, a wind down evening habit, like journaling or reading just before bed. To stay consistent, tie them to a cue, like right after breakfast or right before sleep, and track them in a simple journal or app so you can see the progress.
Okay, and which one of those will be the first?
I'd say start with the daily planning habit first. It only takes a few minutes, but it really sets the tone for your day. Once that feels natural, you can layer in the movement habit and then later the evening wind down. That way, you're building momentum step by step.
Okay, thanks for the great discussion. I really enjoyed learning about lasting habits. I will put these ideas into practice and see how they improve my daily life. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. I'm really glad this was helpful. Just remember to be patient with yourself and celebrate those small wins along the way. You've got this.